All right, Gary, what are we talking about this week?
Well, cool. As you know, I like to make money.
Yeah.
And one of the ways I've been doing it is buying these blind lots of SNES games to see if I can find valuable ones.
Oh yeah, like sometimes you'll get a Chrono Trigger in there or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Get a Chrono Trigger and Earthbound or something like that. And most of it are just like NHL 94s.
Yeah, well, that's a good game.
Well, they're good games, but they're not valuable.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking for valuable games here. And so I just got this big box. I'm gonna shake it up here. And we're going to pick one of them out of here. And that's the game we're going to do. I've been told that this box contains only the most valuable games.
Oh, okay.
So we might get Earthbound. We might get Final Fantasy 2.
I think people would be very upset if we played those on this show.
The episode of Earthbound of Abject Suffering, I don't know what that would look like. But it just has, but Captain Novelin's in here. All kinds of rare SNES
oddities. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to shake this up, and you want to reach your hand into my magic box. Here.
Okay. This isn't going to snap down on me, is it? This isn't some kind of
It's
trap?
not a mimic.
Okay,
yeah, no.
Cool. Woo.
Okay.
All right, and here we go. Gary,
Okay.
it's mountain bike rally.
Well, throw it away, because it's goddamn trash. I won't even sell this to somebody.
you were holding up a garbage can. That wasn't your secret box.
Yeah, and it was a mimic. So fuck you, Bike Rally. Get in the mimic's belly so it can shit you out into a garbage can.
Go to mimic jail.
Yes, go to mimic jail. Who's mimic jail?
Who is mimic jail? Oh, Gary, say your name. We need to. This is an atrocity.
Yeah, let's rush to the nothing we have to say about this. My name is Gary Butterfield.
So we can move past it. My name is Cole Ross.
Yeah, and the sooner this is over for us, the sooner it's over for you. It's Suffering, the show where we play bad games so you don't have to.
Why are you doing this to us, Brandon? Brandon?
I love you, Brandon.
Brandon, you skipped out on PRG. I understand you had a pre-existing commitment. I understand,
you're camping.
But then you do this.
Yeah.
Why you got to do me like this, Brandon?
Love you, Brando. The Brandon SG.
He says, "Hope you dudes like FF Overworld maps."
It's not so. FF Overworld maps are the least of the problems of this game.
Yep.
So this at the very least, this is an oddity. As a thing,
or a rarity.
So, this is a game that came with something called the Exertainment Life Cycle. So I'm not joking. Like
I know.
That's it.
I never saw the name of it.
It was an exercise bike that had a TV and a Super Nintendo stuck to it.
Okay.
Which is essentially what me and Cole bought matching exercise bikes because we're the bike boys.
Yep.
And we like to bike while we game because we're bike boys.
Yeah, we're bike boys. You know.
We're just a couple of bike boys. And
I go back and forth between 6 and 8 tension, just really work up some heat, get up there in the 150 heart range. It's all good,
Yeah, bike boys. So this is essentially what we do, but it just came, 20, 30 years beforehand, 20 years beforehand. But it had games built for it.
Right.
That somehow interacted with it either thematically or electronically with it.
Yeah, so you are pedaling so that you can get something in the game. And in this case, what did you get by pedaling? Because I didn't understand. Was that how you accelerated?
I don't know. When you play this without a bike, you start the game and there's really great character selection and stuff, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But you start the game and you don't move, and then when you press the A button, you do move, and at that point, as far as I can tell, nothing you do affects anything.
Right.
You just have to get a certain number of points and laps because it's an exercise-based game. It just wants you to. So before you can get past the first stage, you have to do 100 laps, and you do 10 at a time. Yeah. And it's not interactive, at least with a controller. Maybe if you have the bike, obviously it does something. But I just tapped A, and how long, Cole, did it take you to realize you weren't steering?
I don't know. I thought I was steering towards the end.
I swear I wasn't. I was like trying to go off the road. I was trying to run into those weird like roadside fat guys.
Like yes, the ones who come out and punch you, for biking, which happens in Ohio. Hey guys.
Yeah. You think you're better than me?
Yep, they'll throw garbage at you. No, I haven't, and I know that I've went on anti-cyclist screeds here before, but that's from a position of being in a car.
Yeah.
But
it goes car, bike, walk, dog, cat, mouse.
No, mouse, cat, dog. Come on,
gangster octopus. So
nice pull, man. No, I tried not steering, and I found myself going out of the edge, but then like being rubber banded back to it.
Maybe so. When I went to one of the ramps, I would go off the edge because you can't steer in air.
No, you can stare.
Yeah, you can stare in
That's
air.
all you can do.
Steer in air.
You can stare mouth agape.
But nothing I did seem to matter.
Yeah,
very much. And then when I got those 10 laps and I couldn't go to the next stage, I wasn't mad because I didn't care that much, but right. I was close to being mad.
I was bummed out because I wanted to see more of this game so we could talk about it, but I realized they're all probably going to be circles of varying topologies.
Because for my job, I was kind of irritated. I had no personal anger. Invested in it.
Yes. So I had earmarked a certain amount of time. And in fact, after that initial annoyance, I realized, I can get these other 20 minutes back.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And then I went on to the next game we're doing, which at least is more interesting if it's, also a poorly constructed game. But this, I don't even know if it's poorly constructed. It's just like asking us to do like a power pad game without the power pad.
Right. And you have an endurance meter, but it doesn't matter if that goes out.
It would go up if I stopped pressing the button.
Right.
But if I stopped pressing the button, it didn't make me slow down. It wasn't like a trade-off or anything. I don't know if it was like a problem with it, just not being hooked up to the right interface, but like it just like didn't work.
So I don't look up anything about these games before I play them. At least I try not to. And the fact that this is an exercise game kind of explains my favorite thing about it, which is everything you do or everything that the game has you do flashes up an affirmation. Like, rock on.
I guess that's true.
You can do it. You've done it. What have you done?
Yeah, what have you done? It's like when you run over a hitchhiker.
This will follow you forever.
I'm trying to find the other thing that this thing does that's really incredible is the character selection. So I'm trying to find just a list of the characters. Did you happen to make notes of those guys?
No. All that I took was Bruce because Bruce was my world.
Okay. I chose Mystery.
Okay. Well, he was a ninja, right?
He's a specter of some kind. Because his first of all, when you click on him, he says winning is a mystery, which I like. And then after you win, it shows him, but he is definitely like a mask with a floating like nightscape. Like he is a revenant of some kind.
He contains multitudes.
Yeah, he is some kind of ghoul.
Okay, I'm booting up the ROM so that I can
because they're all good. It's not just the ones that we chose. Like there's a bunch of them that are pretty good.
Yeah. God, it's showing me the fucking credits. Oh, and so here's how disinterested I was. There's a screen with a bunch of names, and I didn't look any of them up.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's true, because they really put it out. Like, they're very proud of this.
Oh, yeah. Their branding is all over it. This is Radical Entertainment. Gary, what other game, tell me real quick, did Radical Entertainment do?
I know it's going to be saying I know, but I don't know off the top of my head.
How about Bebe's Kids?
Oh, hey.
Yeah. How about Wayne's World? But Bebe's Kids, because that has a connection to next week's episode, too. This is the Sports Bebe's Kids quartet or triplet or whatever. Okay, so Mystery, who kind of looks like he has a little bit of Matrix face happening. He has no mouth, but he must scream. There's California Jack, who looks like Rowdy Piper.
Yep, California Jack, and nothing wrong with him.
Yep. There's Bruce the Frog Ape Man.
Mm-hmm. I like Bruce,
who is one of the few people who wears a helmet.
Yeah, Bruce, safety Bruce.
Yep, safety Bruce. There's Wind Rider, who has blue anime hair.
Is the name that Storm calls herself and looks a little bit like Storm. Like it's like you can play as this off-brand Storm.
Oh yeah, Dime Storm.
Dime Storm.
Oh god, that sounds so painful.
Okay, well, if you unleash a Dime Storm off the top of the Empire State Building, you kill somebody.
You'll wipe out all life on Earth. Basically,
you can wipe out an entire preschool tour.
Exactly. No. You know what happens next? The road. There's Mountain Demon, whose background is flame. Just
nothing
flame.
wrong with Mountain Demon.
There's Shadow Rider, who is the ninja, but he recognizes that safety is important. There's Veronique, who looks kind of like a Grace Jones figure, except with lighter hair.
Hot.
And the Raging Beast, who looks like a Warhammer orc.
Yep.
And he's wearing like a Leatherhead's helmet.
And there are a lot of different bikes you can choose from too.
They're branded.
As far as I can tell, they don't make a difference.
Well, because nothing makes a difference.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's true. In a game that none of my actions did anything.
Yes, all you can do is stare.
Yeah. Yeah. It is so all those different bikes.
Well, those bikes are branded. Those are actual brands of bikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just somebody went around, knocked on all of those doors, and said, "Can we use your name?"
Yeah,
and somebody said yes.
Video games aren't chomping at the bit to get mountain bike licenses, so they were probably pretty into it. But yeah, as far as I can tell, like nothing. Like I just couldn't. Like I didn't do 100 laps.
Oh God, no!
To get to the next level of this, like
neither did I.
Am I wrong in that? That's what did you have to do that, or was there like
well, no? It breaks
I missed?
It breaks them up into 10 round things. I tried to bump it down to 5 because there is a way to like change the parameters of a thing. But when you go back into it, it just says, okay, well, you go again. I couldn't get past Steelport or whatever.
Yeah,
Steel City,
the qualifying round.
Yeah,
yeah, and I'm not going to do 100 laps of this thing. Spoiler. I'm not going to do 50 laps of it either. Like it wasn't. I mean, I guess I could just set it and then go play another video game, and then just do the menu in between. But no, thanks.
We've barely touched on what this thing looks like, though.
Oh, it is. It's pretty ugly.
Okay, so you thought that Mode 7 racing games were kind of like on the SNES. They've kind of found their limit with Mario Kart and F-Zero. Like there was no real Z-axis to this, and it still looked good, but like you can kind of see this is just a sprite at a different level. They said, no, fuck that. Nintendo, you don't know what you're doing with your hardware. Let's take this, let's give this a Z-axis. Let's make these have hills. I don't care if it's a single-digit frame rate. No. I say no.
Yeah. Yeah, sure makes a certain somebody long for the days of the Skeleton Warriors.
That is a reference to an episode that people should hear because they only get it if they back us. And it's available now if you back us at $6 plus on Patreon. But maybe at least Skeleton Warriors was playable.
Skeleton Warriors is extremely playable. This is unplayable in like both. Like usually that's something that people say about games that they think are bad.
Right.
Like this is a bad game. It's unplayable.
Mass Effect 3 is unplayable because I don't like its ending.
This is actually unplayable because
it will not let you. Again, all you can do is stare.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Okay, so again, here's some Wikipedia said it best. GamePro gave the game a generally positive review, saying it mixes racing realism and surrealism. That last part was in quotes. They criticized the lack of digitized voices, but praised the Mode 7 effects, airborne animations, numerous options, and good control. What? Good control? You know what? I really want to hear what Bruce has to say. When Bruce isn't talking, I just want to think, hey, where's Bruce?
It is a tired observation, this idea that game reviews aren't worth a whole lot.
Right.
Like I don't go in there for those like, oh, reviewers don't know shit. Like that's not true. And you can find voices that you agree with. But like a critical consensus is simultaneously like important, but also crazily overrated.
Yeah.
When it comes to games.
Yeah.
Like this is the same. I mean, we don't need to have this whole conversation again but I was railing about it on Twitter about all these people who are just like Dragon Age Inquisition game of the year. And I was like, yeah, really? Like seriously?
I mean, that's an opinion you have now, but
yeah, exactly. And a lot of people did revisit that opinion, but it's just kind of like that kind of like shock and awe over tech stuff that leads to hyperbolic statements like this.
Yeah.
So like at the time, was a GamePro review, so it was like, Silver Shark or something like that. It was some avatar was probably impressed by the Mode 7 effects and airborne animations.
Yeah.
However, they were at no point objectively or subjectively good. He was wrong even when he was thinking it. That's the kind of patronizing I'm willing to be in the face of Exertainment mountain bike rally.
He wasn't even right in his time.
No, or in his head. Like, even his heart wasn't right. The things he felt, the love that he felt was a lie. It never existed.
Just go outside. Just think about what you've done. Huh.
Yeah. Shut up, Silver Shark.
I cannot find the review. Normally,
I can't find anything.
No, nothing. In fact, looking for this on GameFAQs, it was not called Mountain Bike Rally here in the States. I'm going to call it that because it's a less dumb name than what it got, which is Cannondale Cup.
Cannondale Cup is the other one. Somebody is selling a lot of 10 of the Cannondale Cups on eBay for it's the mountain bike racer version. If it's sealed, is expensive. Mm-hmm. Cannondale Cup, you can buy 7 of them for $7.47. So.
Cannondale Cup sounds like a bocce game.
Yeah, absolutely. The bike itself is a huge collector's item and goes for $2,000.
Well, yeah, because it's a physical thing that has a game. It's and
it's also neat.
Yeah,
I would play Super Nintendo Wall on an exercise bike.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I intend to.
Yeah,
nobody outbid me.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have a I'm gonna ride mountain bikes phase?
Mm-mm.
No,
that's the thing too, because the next episode we're gonna do is also kind of an unplayable mess. But the without spoiling what it is, just until the end of the episode. But the trappings around it are something I can speak to.
Yeah, there's a little bit of there's definitely more foothold in that one.
Yeah, there's more tangential foothold. This I don't care about mountain bikes.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know. I grew up in a relatively rural area, and everybody had a bike, and everybody rode their bikes through the woods. Right. To the point where there are several times where I've just gone over the handlebars, and that was just boys will be boys. You need to limp back from the woods in order to get some Bactine, or else you're going to lose your leg.
Yeah.
And that was fun. That's a time that I miss, going and riding bikes. This does not bring any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it couldn't feel less like riding a bike.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't feel like anything.
No, riding a bike, it makes you feel free, just I'm putting in some level of physical effort, but it is not commensurate with the experience that my body is having,
faster
right?
Faster than you think you.
Yeah, you got the wind on your face. Yeah. You're 8 years old and you're riding a mile down to the Duke and Duchess station to buy the new Sonic comic to put in your backpack.
Yeah,
just every day is a gift.
Yeah,
I was talking about this. because everybody at my work has a kid, and they were talking about how they have to prepare for the clocks to move back or forward or whatever the fuck they do in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you have to put them to bed and 15 minutes earlier every night, otherwise they wake up at 4 a.m. And I said, you know what, when I was a kid I hated sleeping, even though I had no grasp of my mortality. And now, when I'm 28 and I wake up thinking I could die today, all I want to do is sleep.
Yeah.
It's fucked, isn't it? The more I become aware of the fact that this is a dwindling and precious treasure, the more I just want to lay in bed.
Well, you're escaping the awareness,
right?
It's because you're not aware when you're asleep.
Yeah.
I mean, on some level, you probably are.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that maybe when we're sleeping, because you don't, even if you remember your dreams, you don't remember very many of them.
Right.
What if, every dream you don't remember is just the most, Basinskian nightmare that you can even imagine.
Oh, and your waking mind as you cross that vestibule again is buffering that away and getting rid of as much of it as it can.
Yeah,
and when you wake up in the middle of a nightmare, that kind of decontamination hasn't happened.
Yeah, and that's the point of sleep. And then you get your protagonist or whatever, and that doesn't happen to him. He can't clean any of it.
Yeah.
And that's your, the Crow or Spawn or whatever for a new generation.
Wait, he never gets a chance to sleep, right? Like
when he does. It's just whenever he does though, it's pure like, mind-rending nightmare.
Oh yeah.
That gives him, I don't know, power insight or something.
Okay, so let's beat this out a little bit. Let's kick the tires. Okay. When he sleeps, is he like an agent in some kind of other world? Is this an internal world? Is this him kind of like fading back and forth because there is no barrier? He's, jumping in between the nightmare version of his world and our own?
I didn't have him as an agent in that world. I had us as like a resource for another world. Like I guess similar to like Dark City or something.
Okay.
So he is seeing something that is actually happening, but it's just something that's happening to us all the time.
Yeah.
And we just can't do anything about it.
So he like surfaces as an observer into some cosmic truth that that maybe reflects on what we have right now, but he can't actually do anything.
Is some him being his unconscious mind being like skinned alive or something,
right?
For a millennia. In actual felt time.
Yeah, because time has no meaning. It's like the hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Right.
But when we wake up, we just forget that stuff.
Right. But he doesn't, and so he has to carry that weight with him. Listen, Gary, we're not describing somebody with like a power. This isn't a Crow or a Spawn. This is just a deeply unsettled individual.
This is Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah.
This is Jacob's Ladder too.
Yeah, he's gonna wake up in the Bergen station.
Step ladders. Jacob Ladder's kid. They call me Stepstool and Icy Demons.
It's really sad what happened to Elizabeth Pena.
Yeah. I was thinking about like a good
baby
like a modern...
Danny Aiello. Sorry.
I was thinking about a good like modern shitty X-Men pitch, like just a comic, but it's all people with bad powers. So I was thinking of like this sleepless guy, but then I was also thinking about like people talk about how they wouldn't want the power of telepathy, because it's like I don't want to know what everyone thinks. But what if you had the power where everyone could know what you thought all the time?
I mean, isn't that just not having very good like facial muscle regulation?
Well, like way worse though, like way more detailed.
I suppose,
like it would be like there's not a facial expression that says like I like all of the dark things that you think.
Right. I'm appreciating these breasts right now.
Exactly. Like, and you could be staring at those breasts, but like somebody you looking at those breasts, the people who see your face might be like, "Uh-oh, here comes a thirsty." But if they can hear your thoughts, it would be like, I want to drink milk out of that while
Jesus.
Or just like the grossest thing you ever thought about a boob.
Right.
I guess, which I've never thought about drinking milk out of a boob. But or just they're just more like, I would like, I don't know, just like a grosser, more context way of being a thirsty. And they're darker things than thirst. Like the dark thirst.
Is that dark spelled with an E?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. So I was thinking about like if you had that kind of reverse telepathy and you were walking around, everyone knew what you were thinking all the time. At first, like if it didn't drive you insane, at some point you would get kind of badass because of the confidence it would give you.
Oh,
like
right.
you would have like no, so you would be like this kind of really daring,
So is this okay, again, let's kick the tires on this. Is this something that like most mutant powers has an onset in being a teen?
Yeah.
Or does this come out at puberty? Because I don't know, like as a little kid, most of the time you're thinking like, oh, I really hope I don't get caught in that lie, or when is nap time? But like puberty right there, I think that what would actually happen is you would have a tremendously awkward like adolescent period, right?
Yeah.
And then almost immediately, because of like the social pressure and just awkwardness behind that, what actually might happen is you get very good at regulating your thoughts. And so it's not like you don't feel this, it's that it becomes something that isn't like lingually appreciable. So what comes out is actually this noise or this music, and you're appreciating it in a way that doesn't broadcast.
Yeah, you become like a limitless, and you just operate on these instincts because you can't think.
Right, because then everybody knows. And then, like, I have to assume that this reverse telepathy, when you think it, everybody has to hear it, because, you know, you being around doesn't give people the ability to regulate it. So, in fact, you have this tremendous ability to, like, overpower people, right?
Yeah, because eventually you could just choose what you're going to think about.
Yeah, you're just broadcasting. And, like, as you figure out the limits of it, and as you get better, because mutants can get better at their powers, that's why the school for gifted, you know, that's why Xavier exists. As you increase the range, you know, but then the problem becomes actually like being captured for like propaganda purposes, right? So all of a sudden one day a van pulls up and you get black bagged, you're brought over to Eastern Europe in order to help like with some kind of coup, and then you have your Achilles tendons like severed and you're you know, just tied to a bed.
You just become like a torso.
Yeah, like you're tied to a bed in the back of a van that's like riding around in the streets broadcasting submit.
Yeah, it's a good arc. Like it's like that's season 1. Like,
where do you go from there?
Oh, he gets rescued. He gets rescued by Darkman or whatever. Night
by the Shadow.
Yeah, by night thoughts or whatever.
by night soil. Yep.
Yeah, and he doesn't get captured by an Easter block thing. He gets captured by the agents of this nightmare realm. Mm-hmm. You know. So,
okay.
So far, we got, you know, the teams getting recruited. Mm-hmm. You do a 5-issue arc for each main player. Decompress the shit out of it. You know, we just need to come up with like 3 more.
Okay.
Bam. Huh. We can make a Top Cow comic. Woohoo! And all the prestige that comes with being in with the label Top Cow. All of their favorite characters. Sigil, Crux.
Is that a thing? Top Cow?
You don't know about Top Cow comics?
Oh God, no.
You never talked about Top Cow? How much time do we have to waste on this episode?
Well, let me take a look here. I don't have an absolute timer, but I can look. 1 second.
Okay.
We got about 5 minutes left. Let's put 5 minutes on the clock.
I'm not going to put all let's put 5 minutes on the clock. It's not going to be an entire. I'm not going to go through all of the Top Cow stuff.
Okay.
But Mark Silvestri made this comic company, and he was up there with like Rob Liefeld. He's better than Rob Liefeld, but he drew the shitty arc in New X-Men.
Okay.
So that's Mark Silvestri, and Top Cow was supposed to be this, this third string comic book thing, compete with Dark Horse and Image and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find just a list of the properties, and you know some of the properties from it because The Darkness, the video game, that's a Top Cow comic, and Witchblade is the other really famous one. But they were kind of famous for, or at least famous in my mind. Like whenever I heard about them, the funny thing was the title of their comics, which didn't tell you anything. Like they had all of these things where it's like, here, let me find them. Some of them are just, dumb characters like Ripclaw. It's like, okay, Ripclaw. But like knowing the difference between like Fathom, Epoch, Crux, Ascension, like they just have these like, mind proof.
Oh yeah, it's a complete label of Teflon.
Yeah, exactly. And like a lot of their comic titles were like that, and it just meant nothing.
Oh, there's one called Pilot Season.
Yeah. So it's based on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
That's how I got and my hit character I made, Velocity. But yeah, they were really bad comics, and they all had that kind of they were like Image Image got kind of cool, mm-hmm. and then Top Cow popped out. Even though I got founded in 1992, I had no idea. I thought that was much newer than that because they were around before then.
Just by the names that you're saying, Silvestri and Liefeld, I'm thinking like mid 90s. I don't think of them being at the height of their powers.
Cool. I fucked up.
You did?
I'm not. Yeah, Top Cow is not what I was thinking about.
Oh,
I was thinking about how are they related? I was thinking about cross-gen.
Cross-gen.
Yeah, people who know comics who are listening to this were going crazy.
Well, people who know anything about anything listening to this are going crazy.
That's probably true. But CrossGen did the same thing, but worse. Because there's Scion, Sigil, Mystic, Crux, Sojourn, Ruse, Negation. Like they're all just, words.
Oh, Negation?
Yep.
Ugh.
So
wait a minute. So these are like running titles. These aren't like the names of characters.
No, well, I think some of them are, but you can't. They're not always that. Like sometimes they're just like themes.
Yeah, like I mean, Saga isn't that like Saga has nothing to do with what's inside of that book.
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna.
I don't think Saga is a good title for that. Like, it's a good comic.
Yeah.
I don't think Saga is a particularly like.
No. So I'm not going to stand here and say that my current favorite comic has any high ground on this stuff. But
yeah.
Meridian.
I love Crux.
Ooh, Sojourn. That's pretty good.
Sojourn. Scion, Sigil, Saurians.
the way of the rat is kind of cool. I like that.
The way of the rat sounds cool.
Yeah.
Route 666 sounds annoying to me.
Yeah, no, that's like sub Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that's rough. But anyway, that's some dumb comic stuff. But this is what happens when you ask us to review fucking exercise equipment. The exercise equipment in question costs $2,000.
Brandon?
Yeah, we can't get it.
Well, we're Patreon rich, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess 1 month, 2 months of our Patreon would buy us both one of these exercycles.
Not even.
Yeah, that's true. And that would be that's if we shut down the podcast and somehow kept up Patreon. Like, we don't actually have the production costs. We just once we get these 2 exercycles, we're set.
I guess I just won't pay these bills this month. Okay.
Yeah.
God. Ooh, El Cazador sounds pretty good. Huh.
Yeah, Cazador sounds good. And I love Cazadors. Brandon, I love you.
Why'd you do this?
But now we're adding exercise games.
Yes.
To the educational games list of things we're not going to do for the show.
Yep. I thought this was going to be some kind of like like off-road kind of top-down thing, or like what if Paperboy was a racing game?
Yeah.
Like,
sure. I'll take it.
I'm so angry.
I can't be mad at Brandon.
Neither can I. He's
a real cutie. I'm friends with him on social media and see him and his
girlfriend.
Yeah,
Miranda. Oh my gosh, they've got this Silent Hill based relationship.
They're very cute.
Yeah,
they're super cute cuppies.
Just a guppy.
Actually, they're cute cuppy. I actually just realized that like next time Teenage Dirtbags does some Stumptown dumplings. I think those are going to be the Stumptown dumplings.
Oh, they have to be
next time. Yeah, those are a couple of Stumptown dumplings.
Yeah, no, they're delightful people. I was very sad I didn't get to see them.
Yeah. Well, you had to camp. Just sitting around thinking up this fucking shit game to suggest. Just sitting around the campfire, just taking our dicks and putting them in the flame and just saying, hey, suffering boys.
Just staring into the fire with his into the fire with his fingers tinted, saying soon.
That sounds like him even. Anywho, what do we do next time?
Gary, next time we're doing Rap Jam Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's going to be the start of a bonfire-side chat exploration of the entire Rap Jam franchise.
Yeah, it's probably finally time to.
You having some trouble there?
To explore it. Yeah, I'm getting tired.
Me too.
And we still have to. We're gonna get through this. Let's go through this quick.
Okay, cool.
Patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv.
That's a way to help us out. If you back at $6 per month, that helps us out a great deal, and we appreciate it. And in return, you get the ability to vote on the premium episode of Abject Suffering under the Abject Suffrage movement.
Got that for less.
What's that?
$6 gives you the bonus episode, but you get the voting.
Voting and episode is $6.
Oh, okay, they're both $6.
Yes,
awesome. So even more than voting, which voting, fine, but episode. You get a bonus episode.
Yes,
yeah.
And so if you're interested in that, when this episode comes out, the most recent one about Skeleton Warriors has just hit the store. I know you want to hear that. It is an incredibly bizarre episode, I have to tell you.
Imagine how unenthusiastic I am now, and then reverse that. So that's
Gary used up all his enthusiasm recording that earlier this evening.
I did. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm tired from how excited I was about Skeleton Warriors. Like, I have shit I have to do tonight, man, but I got too pumped for Skeleton Warriors to finish it. So anyway, who is Grimskull?
Who is Zoodog? God damn it. I love this evolution of the struggle about the ending.